about you? Oh, no problem, no problem. How is everything, Camille? Is over there. My dog is on the garden now. Oh, he is back. Uh, so tell me, I live just at 5 miles in a little country, 5 miles to Venice. But I born in Rome, then I lived for work Rome in Milan for Milan. Then from Milan now I live here. That's a lie. How old are you? Hmm, you so young. Well, I honestly, Camilla, uh, I didn't advise someone to take something to read the book about forex because the problem is that every book that you can buy talking about technical analysis. This is the problem. If you want to be an economist, that's good. But if you want to be a trader, you can trade using only the analysis. In these days, we will see as well during the week how to understand the analysis working as well on trading range than just to understand the bias. Because, as I showed you, that the market moves only by orders is, uh, let me say, is stupid to work with analysis. That's good to have a normal base of technical analysis. But if you want to be a sort of an economist, if you want to be a trader, you must be not ready to for a conference or a press conference or congress to talk about the market micro view. If you want to be a trader, you have just two possibility: or you buy or you sell. That's the reason why. You know what I mean? Oh, you're welcome. That's good for your study. If you study, that's good because you're young, you need the base. But to be a trader, you need to know what moves the market. You need to be in control of the market because the risk is the market control you. As I told to your father many times, this is the problem. That's why the reason today we will start when your father arrives. Here he is. Hello, hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. How's everything? Well, well, I was talking with Camille about the technical analysis. Oh, Erdogan scamming city today. I understand. I understand. Oh my God, that's terrible. Yes, yes. Thanks God, thank God Erdogan is not here today. Well, by the way. Well, before to start today, I would like to know what you think about the market. In other words, take a deep breath, study euro dollar in time frame where we have possible, we have a time frame on 30 minutes as well, and tell me what is moving the market and what is your opinion. Meanwhile, I just open the door for the dog. Take your time, do not rush. Okay, take a deep breath. Suppose now we start to trade. Take a look to the euro dollar. Tell me if there is a trading range. Then let me know what is moving euro dollar at the time. If is dollar under attack or not. In other words, what that's what we talking about during last week about the arbitrage. Then we're talking about the trading range. Then we're talking about the action price. So take your time. Okay, this is the analysis if we are in a dealing room. We are not an economist department. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. As you can see, as you can see, this is the right way. We take a look to the euro dollar movement. Okay, now euro dollar still 124.40 41. Okay, bias is up at the time, still working on the top, and sterling dollar moving up, still working on the top. From the bottom, dollar yen moving up. Take the last two candle. down, and from the bottom up. But the market is still there. So immediately, when you are in practice with the arbitrage and the market, you can see a little bit anomalous movement. So let's see what is the trading range for euro dollar. 43, no, 1643, just for the next candle because it's more and more is 3 hours now. Do you remember many times I told you to test the trading range? To trade, when you trade, how many times you must trade the trading range up or down? Three. Take a look. I told you to test three. One, two, three. Denied on top. So the first input I have is what is moving euro dollar is not dollar because after 3 times, if the market still try to break up the trading range, then denied, or the market is flat, or the trading range is wrong. In this case, the trading range is not wrong, still working on top, but is kept in this area. We are working on the top. Now, as we can see, sterling, yes, is a little bit down, but it's still working on the top. And dollar yen is working on the top. So the first impact for me is that someone is moving euro dollar up. Because if we have a dollar under attack, we have euro dollar that moves up, sterling dollar that moves up, dollar yen that moves down. So immediately I take a look to sterling. Take a look what happens on euro sterling from the top down, down, down. Someone in the market start to sell euro sterling. Euro yen is the opposite, down, down, then up, up. So in this moment, I can see that euro dollar is capped from euro sterling, but is supported by some orders to buy euro yen. This is the reason. Take a look. This is a dollar yen, the last one. Take a look to the last two candle up. And take a look at the last two candle on euro yen. It's the same, don't you? Because the people that want to buy euro yen have to buy first of all euro dollar, then they buy euro yen. So at the moment, the more euro yen moves up, the more euro dollar moves up. The more the sterling moves down, the more euro dollar moves up. This is the reason why in this moment, in this movement, market was kept by order to sell euro pound, euro pound, euro pound, because you sell euro dollar, so you are flat, you are short euro plus dollar. Then, in case you buy sterling and sell dollar, dollar minus euro sterling plus euro minus the opposite of euro. At the time, what is moving the market are the arbitrage. This is the reason why market was kept on top for 3 times. Why? Why this analysis? Well, the trading range must be tested 3 times. One, two, three. In this case, for example, I do not buy above 40, 42. Note, I consider that I can use another strategy. This is the reason why I asked you, what do you think about the market? I can use another strategy. I mean, to sell or buy, to sell on top or buy on dip. Because this is a very important strategy. First of all, we analyze the market. Second step, we try to understand what is moving the market on euro dollar. In this case, we have seen that the market is supported by euro yen and kept by euro pounds. But the situation is possible changed. Exactly, because as I told you, if you want to trade just on euro dollar, you have to control euro dollar, sterling dollar, dollar yen, and euro dollar. Just to have a point of view, if I know that the market is the movement, once time I know the movement is, I know what the market can do. For example, on the top, sterling is moving just a little bit down. So might be possible that someone start to buy euro sterling on the bottom. Take a look, this is euro sterling. On the bottom, someone start to buy. Did you receive my practice for arbitrage by mail? Okay, okay. Meanwhile, the more euro yen, dollar yen moves up, the more euro sterling moves up. The euro yen moves up. Now I am in completely control of the market because Yes, because we must be able to control what happens in the market. Yes, sure, with the same system. If we have a trading range, we have five possibility to reach our daily budget. Meanwhile, we have five possibility to control what is moving euro dollar up. In other words, you have the control of the market because now you have the key that euro sterling and euro yen still moving euro dollar. Euro yen, because this is the question. Once time I am in practice with the arbitrage, and once time I control something like that, I am able to understand that if the market is moving just for this is the fourth time, as you can see, market moves up. The more the market of sterling moves down, the more euro dollar moves up. Or euro yen moves up, the more euro dollar moves up. Take a look now, it's 47. Remember, the market moves in harmony. Once time I understand what is moving euro dollar in this tight range, I mean 35, 45, 10 pips only, I understand that the movement is for arbitrage. So, first of all, dollar is not under attack. Second, the more sterling moves up, euro dollar moves down because someone start to buy sterling versus euro. The more sterling dollar moves down, the more euro dollar moves up because someone is buying sterling, is buying euro versus sterling. The same situation is on yen. The more the yen moves up, the more euro dollar moves up. Vice versa, the more euro yen moves down, the more euro dollar moves down. This is the secret to control the market. First of all, I have my trading range, right? Then, then I control what is moving the market above or below the trading range. Once time, once time, I decide that the market is driven by arbitrage. I mean, euro dollar is driven by arbitrage. I can, for example, to decide to sell on top euro dollar. Yes, but in this case, this is another strategy. This strategy is called to sell on top or buy on dip. Remember, very important, that when you sell on top or buy on dip, you are working against the market. Yes. In other words, we are work against the trading range. So I can consider that this is the top. So over the top, instead of to buy euro dollar, I start to sell euro dollar. You or your daughter just retweet my tweet about I sold euro dollar at 44. Yeah. Why? Yes, I appreciate very much. The reason is if I sell on top euro dollar, I buy on the dip dollar. To sell on top euro dollar in this case, or buy on dip euro dollar in this case, must be linked to the fact that euro dollar is moving by arbitrage. Because if the dollar is under attack, it's a sort of suicide to sell on top. Show you what I mean. First step, start the market, okay? Then we have a trading range on euro dollar, right? Then we control what is moving euro dollar. Then we decide, attention to this word, to start to sell on top. Because if my full amount, for example, in case of the budget that we study, my maximum amount is 40,000, I can decide to split the amount in case the market moves over the top. Yes, to connect it with the budget because thanks to the budget, we know the exactly leverage. Our maximum leverage on the budget that we studied was 40,000. I do not sell on top 40,000, but I start to sell, for example, 10 or 20,000 only. Exactly. Then you split your amount because since now, since now, you must be able to consider to split your amount and to calculate the average. For example, do not worry, it's normal that you don't understand. Suppose I study the situation, okay, and market is here. So I take a look immediately to 4 hours. 4 hours market is lower, yes, because the was above 39 up. Then we have the daily trading range. Market is 125.80 on the top. So now we can split. Now we can split our amount. In this case, minimum stop loss 30 pips. Why? Because we are working outside the trading range. Yes. This is another reason why it's important to use our capital protection. So we can increase our stop loss. For example, we can back to the 30 minutes trading range. This is the 30 minutes. So once time I perfectly know that the market of euro dollar moves up driven only by arbitrage, I can decide to sell on top. For example, I start to sell on top at 47. Then in case I will sell on top again at 77. In case I have to calculate first what is the average. What is the average if we sell a 1, 24 and 47 and then at 67? 77, sorry. Do not worry, Dimitar is a difficult technique. That's why I... Okay, I take a look. We take a look. Okay, now market is 124 and 48, right? 48, 49. Instead of to buy, I sell. I sell, I sold at 24 and 49. Yes. No, 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 no. I do not ask. I'm just showing you. First of all, I update my trading range that is higher now. Is 1846. So I sold a 49. Suppose that the market moves up. I sold a 49, just part of my amount. I split my amount in 10 or 20. If I have a maximum amount of 40, I do not sell all my amount, I mean 40,000 at 49, but I split. I start. That's the reason why I used to say I start to sell on top. Suppose, but I decide first to sell again in case market moves up at 79, 124 and 79, I mean. What is my average if I sell 20,000 at 49, then 20,000 at 79? This is a question for you. Yes, yes, do not worry. In other words, after study the market, okay, I decide to sell on top because for me, euro dollar is overbought and driven only by euro sterling and euro yen. So instead of to buy euro dollar, I start to sell on top euro dollar, splitting my amount just for example in twice. I sold a 49, but I control what is, for example, the daily top is 125 and 18. Suppose, suppose, suppose first to trade that suppose instead of the market is here, the market was here. Okay? I start the market moves up a 49 and I sold 20,000. Next entry will be 124 and 79, so 30 pips above. But I must to calculate for first what is the average. If I sell a 49, that's a 79. I am short at what average? This is a question for you. Exactly. 1.24 and 64 plus 30 pips stop loss. I control the market. I am in control. In other words, I know where to sell again and what is my stop loss. Yes, yes. It depends, okay, how many, because this is an example just to split in two, 20 and 20, but it can work for full 10, 10 and 20, for example, three times, or 10, 10, 10 and 10, four times. But just to understand the method, we must to calculate first where is our new entry zone and calculate immediately the average. From the average, we are able to calculate our maximum stop loss. Minimum 30 pips, so 64, right? 94, right? Because the average was 64. And then at 94 we close all position. Tell me if you understand, or I will repeat. I calculate the amount. What you mean for the minimum amount? Well, I calculate in base of the different time frame. We are working over the 4 hour, because 4 hour was 124 and 39. The daily, for example, is 125.18. Now I have a double top for euro dollar. So euro dollar is closed at the time above 124 and 39 and 125.18. So I have the right position to start to sell on top. In other words, I know that if the market break up 125 and 18, market moves up, and I am a stop loss, because daily trading range in other words is impossible, it's too near. Let me I know that the top on daily is 128 and 25 and 18. Right? Okay. So now I calculate first what is the top. In fact, I have a stop loss at the moment, if I split just into my amount, at 124 and 94, with an average of 124 and 64. Well, I just, this is just an example, Kenley. I have an average on 30 minutes. I have a trading range on 30 minutes. My 30 minutes is just for another bar, then we have no more trading range. But this is just an example. So I decide to sell 49, 50, just an example. And then 20, 25 pips higher, I sell again, and I calculate first to sell again. Just once time I have the average, I can calculate my maximum stop loss. I sold at 49. Then I decide to sell again at 79 for an average at 64, and my stop loss will be 124 and 94. because what is moving the market now is arbitrage. So I decide to use the techniques because dollar is not under attack. Because if the dollar is under attack, I didn't know something like that because I immediately go in stop loss and there is no sense. Remember, in the market, when we trade or when we do something, needs to make sense. If doesn't make sense, don't. Yes. No, 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 do not confuse. This is another strategy. Well, do not look to the bar, but look to the price because the risk is that you're confused. When once time we understand that what is moving euro dollar are the arbitrage, so dollar is not under attack, we can consider to use another strategy. Well, always to be well in the trading range available for 30 minutes are maximum 6 bar 2 4 6. For example, now I still working without a trading range. If I do not have a trading range on 30 minutes because the time is too long, is more than 3 hours, I take a look on 1 hour if I have a trading range. In 1 hour, I might be able to calculate a trading range using always maximum 6 hour, and I have 43. Take a look to the last 4 hour in 1 hour. Anytime, anytime. We have to take a look the arbitrage anytime we have a movement inside the trading range, outside the trading range. Just yeah, tell me. I do not look how many bars. Forget the bars. I look to the bias. Yeah, yep. Take a look. Down, down. Then up again, someone start to buy euro sterling on the bottom. Then they are selling euro sterling on near the top. You must be able to control the bias. We have a trading range, yes, possible, because we have, if I'm not getting wrong, we have 61, 32 pips, 29.61 on the last four candle. This is the trading range on euro sterling. But when we use the trading range, we can, in this case, mix it our strategy. In other words, what I mean, this is the euro dollar trading range on 1 hour, okay? I can mix it. I sell using action price in case the price moves at 123 and 90. So I sell. In case of top, once time I know that what is moving the market is R, R arbitrage, I can decide to use the technique of sell on top. Okay, now do not confuse yourself. As I said, I decide to sell on top at 49, then at 79, just for example, okay? So if the market moves up, I will sell again at 40, at 79 with a stop loss at 94. So I have all the parameters to trade. I know that I have a fixed stop loss. I have the average and what to do, how to manage this situation. Of course, if I sell at 49 and the market backs in trading range, I close immediately my position, my first position short of 49. I'm not still waiting that the market now I have to sell at 79 so I do not close. No, I close immediately. Then I update in case my new trading range. Okay, and then I sell again. If the market, suppose, moves in area 79, I sell again. So I am short on average at 124 and 64. In case the market moves down and back, for example, I am short at 64 and the market backs at 46. What I do, I close the lowest deal, 49. But as a profit, I will consider that I close half position at 64 and I leave the same average. You know what I mean? Okay, okay. I sold at 49. Then I sold again at 79. I will be short on average at 64. Market moves down. Okay? Market moves down. For example, in this area, 25, 30. I close for first the lowest deal. I mean the deal of 49. But I will consider for my accounting closed at 25 short from 64. The highest deal at 79, instead to consider 79, I still use 64 as average. If the market moving down or moving up, I can close the second highest deal. We have a fixed stop loss on 94. This is just an example using to split my maximum amount in two. Pardon? Yes, because our average is 64. So 64 is our point zero. Below 64, we are in profit. If the market moves on my side, I close for first the deal of 49, but I will consider as accounting, I close at 30, for example, a first deal at 64. So I am plus 34 pips. Meanwhile, I using the average exactly. Meanwhile, I leave the second highest short at 79 like a short at 64. Right. And stop loss is fixed. It's 124 and 94, right? We we short at 124 and 64. No, I leave everything. I leave stop loss 94, average on 64. In case the market moves down, I can control the position using or dynamic stop loss. I will consider my take profit everything above below 64 because 64 is my average. So if I am just a second, I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, I sold 20K at 1, 24, and 49. Then I sell again 1, 20K at 1, 24, and 79. Now I am short 40 at 1, 24, and 64 on average. Okay. My stop loss is 124 and 94. Suppose the market moves down at 30, 124 and 30. I buy 20, so I close the lowest band. I buy 20, a 1, 24 and 30, the lowest one. Instead of to consider just 19 pips, 49 and 30, I will consider that I close at 1 and 64. Then I am short only 20 at 1, 24 and 64, and I am plus 34 pips. In other words, once time I have the average, market moves on my side. I close the lowest one at 49. I consider the average, so I am plus 34 pips. I leave the same average at 64. The more the market moves down, I can close my deal, my second deal. Because suppose, just for example, that the market moves down at 124 and 30, and I close 40. I am plus 34 on 40 pips. You put a dynamic stop loss. But this is, we will see tomorrow better. By the way, this is the strategy. So once time we know the strategy, and once time we are sure that what is moving the market is moving just for arbitrage, we can decide to mix the strategy. Action price on downside and sell on top or on upside. Enjoy evening, you all. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry if you bit confused, but tomorrow we test again the market. Okay, okay, but was very important to understand a technique like this. That's why we use the average. Okay, enjoy evening. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.